Tell me something. Why does love, something meant to be soft, warm, and healing, sometimes feel like war? Why do some people run from the very thing they crave the most? I'll tell you why. Because when your past is filled with scars, love doesn't feel like home. It feels like danger. And until you face those scars, every kiss, every promise, every silence will feel heavier than it should. This is the hidden psychology of why love feels hard when you carry unresolved trauma. Unhealed wounds shape how we love. He sits across from her, smiling, but inside, his chest is tight. She'll leave me, just like the others, he whispers in his mind. She hasn't done anything wrong, but his past already wrote the ending. This is what trauma does. Psychologists call it emotional conditioning. When we experience betrayal, neglect, or pain in our past, our brain wires itself to expect the same outcome again. Childhood trauma, especially, doesn't disappear. It lingers in the subconscious, shaping the way we give and receive love. Love, then, is no longer a gift. It becomes a battlefield where every touch feels like a test. Trust doesn't come easily. Trust, something so small, yet so massive, becomes the hardest currency to give. Imagine this. Your partner comes home late. A small thing, right? But for someone with unresolved trauma, that small delay might trigger a storm of suspicion. Are they lying? Are they about to leave me? Am I not enough? The mind becomes a courtroom, filled with old evidence from past betrayals. Even when the partner is innocent, the trauma whispers, "Don't trust. Protect yourself." Psychology calls this hypervigilance. The brain, trained by pain, constantly scans for danger, even where there is none. And so, love feels unsafe because the past keeps intruding on the present. Emotional walls and self-protection. So what do we do when love feels like danger? We build walls, not with bricks and mortar, but with silence, distance, and coldness. It's safer that way. If no one gets close, no one can hurt us, right? But here's the paradox. The very walls that protect us also imprison us. We crave intimacy, but we sabotage it. We want love, but we keep it at arm's length. Psychologists call this avoidant attachment. It's a survival mechanism, one that keeps us alive in the short term, but lonely in the long run. And yet, deep down, the heart whispers, "I want to be held. I want to be seen." Triggers can hijack the present. Here's the cruel trick of unresolved trauma. It time travels. A partner raises their voice, and suddenly you're not in the present anymore. You're back in your childhood home, hearing the same anger from years ago. A simple argument about dishes becomes a war replayed from old wounds. Psychologists explain this as emotional flashbacks. The brain doesn't distinguish past from present when triggered, and so love feels overwhelming, not because of what's happening now, but because of what happened then. Healing makes love feel lighter. But here's the truth. Love doesn't have to feel this heavy. When we confront our trauma through therapy, self-reflection, and healthy connection, we learn to separate past pain from present reality. We start to see our partner not as an enemy, but as an ally. We begin to trust again. Slowly, the walls come down. Slowly, the heart softens. Love becomes lighter, not because life gets perfect, but because we're no longer carrying yesterday's battles into today's relationships. So I ask you, are you carrying the weight of old wounds into the love you crave today? If you are, maybe it's time to face them. Because the truth is, you're not broken. You're just holding on to pain that was never meant to define you. And if you're ready to understand the hidden psychology of the heart, subscribe, because this journey isn't just about love, it's about freedom.